Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT proudly presents America's coolest conservative. Well, proudly could be stretching it a bit. Welcome to the TJ Ritchie Show.
Oh, yeah. Live and large from the big dangerous city of Charlotte, North Cackalack. Ooh, it's so lovely to be here. It's so lovely. We only have an hour tonight, obviously, because, again, I was rudely interrupted by some sports show. I didn't realize when I volunteered to work for this station that it was a sports talk station. I thought it was a news talk station, but obviously it's not. They don't bump Pete Calendar for sports, do they? Or Vincent, and definitely not Mr. Winterble. They could be having the Super Bowl in Charlotte, and they happen to have to play it for some special reason in the middle of the afternoon in the weekday. They wouldn't take Mr. Winterble off. No. They'll just kick me around anytime they want. I'm kidding, of course. This is what you call a super serving station, super serving the community. Since we do have a short show tonight, and I came into the studio rather than being in my palatial estate, in my home studio, because it's a special night. I have a co-host for tonight. And he just found out that he's going to be the co-host for the entire hour because it is his last night as producer of the TJ Ritchie Show, young Isaac. So I know you're over there busy doing stuff and writing things and taking notes and getting ready to post stuff on the internets and all of that, but you are the co-host tonight. That's why I didn't set up any of my computer or my notes, or I didn't set up the camera. By the way, I video myself constantly because I'm that much of a narcissist. So it's just you and me tonight.
Let's do it. I can take a few minutes out of my busy schedule to help co-host tonight, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sad that it's your last night. And I know the other hosts probably gave you a little sign-off segment and stuff like that. I mean, they're not giving you an hour.
No, this is
an hour of a platform.
Yeah, this is. Also, they didn't give me the title co-host either, so that's pretty,
right.
That's pretty big too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you know why? I care about you. That's why. I care about you. And this will be a demo if you ever need it. You try to get you a radio hosting job.
Perfect. I'm thinking late nights at WBT.
Yeah. Uh-huh. If they paid you to do late nights, I would be beside myself. I'm like, how did he get paid to do a show before I did? So what do you want to talk about? I'm actually sitting in a different spot tonight so we can be directly across from each other like co-hosts do. I'm sitting in Beth Troutman's seat.
Mm-hmm. With her microphone as well.
Yeah. I'm going to put a big old kiss on it.
Leave a little bit of that TJ magic for her in the morning.
Yeah, yeah. So, what were you just talking about before we came on the air? You were just telling me something.
Oh, I was telling you a story. Some great family friends, some great people back home. Frank Cromer and Donna Cromer. Shout out to you. Hope you're listening.
What's up? What's up?
They've been big fans for years, and
of yours or mine?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Both. But the night that we were talking about, you were talking about it on the air. How I didn't know who you were whenever you first got the job, and Mike calls me into his office. He's like, "So we got TJ Ritchie going on.
Yeah.
This is a big deal."
Mike, the program director.
And everybody else, around the station was, this TJ Ritchie, of Ace and TJ. And I was oblivious. I had no idea, and I didn't know once we even started working together. You walked in that first night, with the sunglasses on and the leather jacket and everything, and And what's that, dude?
Carrying a chihuahua.
You threw your bag on the ground and demanded we pick it up. And I was like, what's up, man? I'm Isaac. Nice to meet you, buddy. And we just took off and had a great time. And, I found out you were actually pretty good at this thing. So I had to look you up. And I was like, oh, okay. They weren't lying. This dude is a huge deal. But we were talking about that one night on the air. And shortly after, I think Donna had reached out to my mom. And she was like, we listen to Isaac and TJ every night. I'm pretty sure I wasn't there, but she probably said Isaac first. But
I don't blame her. Yeah, that's fine.
But she had told him that she listens before, but then that one came up, and she was like, "Oh, we've been listening for years. Ace and TJ Ritchie's huge. TJ Ritchie's the man." Da, da, da. And she had told her one of your stories, and then as my mom's cooking dinner one night, I told her some of the other stories you had told me about the crazy things y'all had done on the show.
Yeah, the stuff we used to be able to get away with, and before we lived in the bubble wrap society and all that.
Right, getting people kidnapped, cool stuff like that.
Yeah, having a guy land a plane just by being talked down by the pilot giving him he'd never flown a plane. Then I mentioned there was another one that I started this idea because you enjoy those stories so much. I wanted to start doing every Friday. An old school DJ story time and then pick some of those stories that we used to do. But one that we did one time that I don't think you get away with doing now is that we had this couple and they won a trip from us and we called it airport roulette. So they had to just meet us at the airport that morning with their bags packed. And then we took all of the flights that were posted that we could see and put them on a roulette wheel and spun it. And whatever town it landed on, that's where they had to go. We just walked up to the counter and bought 2 tickets to that town. And I think they ended up going to somewhere like like Davenport, Iowa or somewhere like that.
They lost the spin.
It wasn't anything like they didn't land on Miami or any of those. So yeah, I think they went and spent the weekend in Davenport, Iowa.
Middle of winter.
Yeah, had a great time.
That's awesome.
And then we used to like one time we had the police dog that they use at the the big German Shepherd chase down our producer. He had one of those things on his arm, and he took off running, and then he wanted to know what it was like to be tackled by one of those dogs, and it did. It took him right to the ground and bit through that thing. He had marks on his arm. Wow. Again, they wouldn't let us do that. That would have been a good surprise for you on your last night, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but you don't even give me the sleeve. Just release the dog in here.
It's like, all right, see you later. Good working with you.
You've seen those videos forever, and I've wondered about it, but I don't think when it came down to it, I'd be down to get bit by the dog.
No, man, because they're bad. Yeah. They are bad, and you don't realize how fast they are until they take off running after you.
Yeah. I thought I was going to have a problem today. I was at a job this morning, and I'm walking around the back of the house looking for the gas line, and this German Shepherd, but it was a massive German Shepherd. Like, it was fat, but it was just massive German Shepherd. Just beelining around the building for me, barking like crazy. And as you do when a dog's running right at you, I froze.
Yeah.
Hands in my pockets, and I was like, oh, this is it. This is it. But it came up to me and sniffed me and ended up not being a problem. The owner walked around, and he was like, you got dogs? And I was like, yeah, I've got a dog at home. He's like, oh, well, usually this dog hates everybody. This seems like you.
Man, I would have kicked that German Shepherd. I'd have punched that German Shepherd in the face. I'll whoop any German Shepherd just with these. Give him that 2-piece and a biscuit. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, you're lucky you didn't get your face eaten off.
I am, and I don't know if you could have got it with a 2-piece and a biscuit. This is a Mike Tyson German Shepherd.
I know, I wouldn't do it. All right, so we got to take a break, and then we'll figure out what Isaac wants to talk about in the next segment. All right, so hang on for that. It's coming up.
The TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WPT. Radio, podcasts, and cool social media content. Get all the TJ you can handle at WBT.com/TJ. Now, back to the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WBT.
TJ and Isaac. Tonight is Isaac's last night as producer. He's moving on. But I gotta say, I had only been working here for a couple of weeks. It seems like whenever you called me on the road, we had just left the station. We usually would hang out in the parking lot and talk for a little while. Isaac and Lonnie Ray and I would. And then, I mean, as soon as we pulled away, he called me. And I was like, well, what's going on here? And then you told me that you were dragging up, as we say, or used to say in the construction world. Y'all still say that on the job site? Somebody's dragging up?
Never heard it in my life.
Okay, that means quitting. They're dragging up. But he made a mistake, and being new to radio, this being his first radio job, you didn't know that you can't tell radio people, "I'll work until you find somebody to replace me," because the radio people are like, "Oh, well, we got time. It's fine." So that was 3 months ago or 4 months ago?
5
months ago. You gave 5 months notice.
Yep.
So, I mean, I hated it that night when you told me that, but then it was like, it's been so long. Maybe he forgot that he's quitting.
Maybe everyone forgot.
Yeah. And then your last night was supposed to be this past Friday, Halloween.
Right.
And then how did you end up staying another week?
Just
They
Brett
asked you
Jensen. Brett Jensen was sick, couldn't sleep, so he asked him to keep me an extra week. No, they were wanting to get everything squared away before I left, and that's why I gave him a 5-month notice, because I didn't want to leave anybody put out.
Yeah, you're saying you want me to stay another week? I gave you 5 months notice. Most people give 2 weeks. I gave you 5 months, and you still can't get it together. No, but I'm glad, because I didn't want to come in here on Halloween night.
Yeah.
So basically, I told him to ask you to stay. But yeah, I mean, I do most of the show now from my palatial estate, my palatial lake estate in Mooresville. But I had to come in on Isaac's last night because we kind of we hit it off pretty fast. I mean, I didn't know whether you thought I was going to come in, because you never know whether I was going to come in and be yelling and it's got to be right, and being all intense and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm actually probably way too lenient as a host for things.
Without a doubt. It's probably a problem. Might be something you should work on.
Yeah. People listen to me on the radio and think I'm a jerk and, all of that. But here's the way I do. Isaac, man, I hate to ask you this, but is there any way that you could edit this for me or whatever? Or I apologize to Lonnie when I send him something late. Hey, I'm sorry. I just found this and I need it. Yeah.
Things that are literally in our job description, you apologize for asking us to do them. Or we'll mess something up. And, oh, no, it's before we can even be mad at ourselves or whatever else. You're like, oh, no, it's fine. It's okay. It's fine.
We'll skip it. No big deal. But you got to be sad because radio is an industry that gets in your blood quickly. If you have a knack for it, which you do, then it's something you just want to do. And it's not glamorous all the time, but there's a certain feeling that you get when you accomplish something, or when you feel like you're part of something that's big. Mm-hmm. And that's just the way radio is. You're a radio nerd like the rest of us, because you just love it. You love the idea of radio. You probably wouldn't even want to work for a TV station, would you?
No.
No, not at all. They're not cool.
Yeah, nothing on
cool.
us.
No.
But you're exactly right. It gets in your blood, and I do. I love it. It's been by miles. It's the funnest job I've ever had. And one of my first months here, Brett Winterble actually told me, there's plenty of good jobs and there's plenty of bad jobs. There's not many fun jobs, and this is a fun job. And 2 years later, that is definitely ring to be true.
And well, we got to take a break here, but I want to, and you can think about this, during the break. But I want to know what you think the most important things that you've learned in these 2 years is. I mean, outside, I know you went to school for it in college and all that, but what you on the job, the most important things that you've learned working at WBT. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we'll get to that next. Hang on.
It's TJ Ritchie on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WPT. Identifying liberalism and mocking it relentlessly. This is the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WPT.
Welcome back to the TJ and Isaac Show. Isaac is the special co-host tonight. Young Isaac, the producer. Because tonight's his last night on the air with us. And just shooting the breeze. is what we're doing.
This being my third segment at all, I don't really want to overstep. But I think Isaac and TJ just kind of rolls better.
Yeah, that's fine. Fine with me.
Something to think about.
Yeah, I'm not all Mr. Ego or anything. I don't care. So I was asking Isaac before the break the most important things that he has learned by working at WBT about radio stuff and life in general, I guess, because you learn things because you're around a lot of older people.
Mm-hmm. A lot of wisdom in this building.
Yeah. So what are they? What are the important things?
I don't know that I could. If you gave me this whole hour, I don't know if I could cover it all. But I will say I've learned more in the 2 years working here than I ever learned in school. And, minor in political science, major in journalism. It's all just talk there, but you actually seeing it, meeting congressmen, Charlotte city councilmen, sheriffs.
Yeah,
it's been a blast, and
so you could actually go get a real job in the media, like you could be a writer or any kind of journalist because you got that degree. Is it journalism or broadcast journalism?
Journalism.
Just journalism. Wow.
Yeah.
You a good writer?
I am. I'm a much better writer than talker for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So obviously you have been working here for a long time. Most of your time working here was before I came along.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about, like, when you first started on my show, when I came in, and it had to be a completely different approach that I have to it than, say, Mr. Winterble or Jensen, Brett Jensen. Were you thinking this guy's kind of wacko or what?
I saw early on what you were doing. It's different, but it's good. And that's another thing I've learned here is everybody here on this radio station, they're smart people. They're very intelligent people. And it's so cool to see the different ways they go about things. From Winterble, he's a national guy. Pete's more of a local guy. He does national stuff, but he's more of a local guy. Jensen is the what you would expect out of a reporter, just local, hard-hitting stories, good stuff. And then you come in with something completely different. And it's been amazing to see and amazing to just watch and learn just from watching you guys. And, Pete especially. Pete sometimes talks in parables, but Pete's the man every time. And it's so funny. I was talking to my sister the other day about the radio and just everything. And I brought Pete Counter up, and I said, Pete Counter's the man. Every single time I say Pete Counter, I say he's the man. But
or sometimes you say he's a dog.
I do. I call everybody Big Dog. Very professional for those out there wondering. But but I take things that y'all say, just little words of wisdom that y'all might not even mean in this bigger, bigger scale, and I take it as these life lessons and just wisdom.
Well, one thing that I've liked about working with you is I am all about young people being excited about learning radio. Because a lot of times younger people, your age, have grown up with nothing but podcasts and music streaming and all that, and so some radio has lost its luster and its glitter, with younger people, But like when I was growing up, it was, nighttime radio was the biggest thing. You were listening to that, and you're the countdown and the request and all of that kind of stuff. But I could tell right away you actually like radio itself, and I love that. I love when young people want to know about it, learn about it, and everything. But since I'm new to this format, I didn't really feel like, that I had any room to be throwing around I do this and I know how to do that now, because I was learning it too, and still am every day. But I still say, and I've told you this off the air, I told you from the beginning, anything that you want to do in this business or podcasts or any of that kind of stuff, anything that you want to do that you think I might be able to help you or coach you or do anything, just let me know. And I will drop everything, because it's so rare to find young people who want to be good at radio. Everybody wants a quick hit with going viral and, and social media posts and things like that. But it's refreshing for a young person to be really into radio as a craft.
And not to just let me get there. I didn't come into it, loving radio. Like you said, I was a big podcast guy. Listen to my music streaming platform, stuff like that. But I was a big podcast guy. So it started with people. I love people. I love understanding what makes people tick, why people are who they are, and what makes them do what they do, which led me to a love for politics, which led me to WBT radio.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about in the last segment, there's something about it. It gets in your blood. And like you said, I love it now. And the difference between your podcast and stuff like that compared to radio is this is a community. We have our texters, our normal texters. We've got our callers. We've got Matt out there. Winterable, he's got his gym in San Diego, his Yankee Joe, his Robert, his you bring it every night dog Robert. Like it's more of a family thing, and I think that's important, and that's really something that we've lost today with these. Like you said, the quick hits. You're scrolling through, you're listening to music. You're not getting those breaks with that. That host that you love, that host that you feel like you're friends with, even though you don't know them. And
because this is the most intimate media outlet. There's no other form of media that's as intimate as radio is. You can't just pick up the phone and call the anchor person at 10 o'clock on the news and say, hey, I like that tie you're wearing tonight. And then they say, oh, cool. Well, thanks for calling the news. We appreciate it. You can't do that. You can't go to a car dealership and go up and talk to a news reporter just to say, hey, and get a free slice of pizza. So radio is that, and that is dying in our society because everything is faceless now, and it's just not much is live. Things are all recorded and then edited and posted and all of that.
And another crucial thing that you just hit on, that is also dying and that radio brings, is that open communication. We field calls from people who love what we're saying, who double down on it, appreciate the takes they hear on the radio, and we have the people that are calling in because they hate us. They hate what we're saying, whatever it may be, but they want to have the conversation. Yeah. And we must continue to have conversations. And, we discussed that whenever Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And that's what he did. You have the debates. And when we stop having the debates, this doesn't work. And you asked me what I've learned in radio. At one of the News and Brews, they asked all the hosts why they do what they do. And I'd heard about it the next day. I wasn't at that News and Brews, and I asked Pete what he had said. And Pete Callender, he's the man, he said, we live in a democracy, in a republic, and this system of government does not work if you don't have people calling out those in power. If you don't have people holding them accountable, this does not work. Mm-hmm. And that's what this is. And that's what all of media should be, but that's what we do here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tell the complaint callers to go pound sand. I don't have time for them. I'm kidding.
Go to hell, Kevin.
Yeah, that was last night, wasn't it? Yeah, you got to keep those lines of communication open. I mean, even if
go to hell, Kevin.
All right, hang on. We got more coming up.
The TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WPT. Late, live, and local. It's the TJ Ritchie Show on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WPT.
Oh, yes. Special guest co-host tonight, young Isaac. For tonight is his last night as a producer at WBT. Did they say that you were going to be coming back and filling in and stuff like that? Are you on call now in case they need you for
Yep.
stuff? Like George that comes in and does stuff, who he retired and then they still keep calling him back?
Yeah. I think George retired 3 times.
Yeah. But, if they get him to come back, more than 3 times in a week, he gets mad. He's like,
and he'll tell you about it all day.
Yeah.
George is hilarious.
Mm-hmm. So not only we've been talking about how it's odd for a young person to have such an interest and a love for radio in these days of social media and streaming and all of that stuff, but you are also into politics. And have you always been into politics, or just since, Trump and all of that, which got conservative young people to come out and say, hey, yeah, well, count me in on this group?
Yeah, Trump definitely played a factor in it, but I tell you what really, got me into it was COVID, and
Mm-hmm.
that was just, so earth-shattering that, I was interested a little bit before, not really at such a young age, but once I got into college, I was going to college, I was 3 hours away from home, long drives. I was just devouring Ben Shapiro.
Yeah.
Just listening to podcast after podcast,
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Who do you listen to that's not on WBT that you like as a conservative host?
Matt Walsh.
Yeah, he's my favorite too.
He's the man. I love Matt Walsh. I love his I would describe it as sober takes. He never gets too high, never gets too low. He keeps it in the middle, but he calls it how he sees it. He doesn't sugarcoat it. And I actually heard something listening to him earlier today on the way into work, which not to give the game away, but he did it. Somebody's probably heard it. But, you have the people out here who take those hardline stances and say it how it really is and how we really feel about things.
Mm-hmm.
And it acts as a shield for the people that are out there every day. And, this might come up with a coworker on the job site or wherever they may be at.
Paves the way for them to be able to say it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they may, deliver it in more of a gentle way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, this big name is saying it to hundreds of thousands to millions of people.
Mm-hmm.
I can say it. I can have this position, even if I have it a little bit, even if I say it in a more gentle way, which I think is so crucial because coming from App State, which I don't know if you know this, pretty strong liberal stronghold there, but you just feel like you can't have the conversations. And
you got a lot of hillbilly hippies up there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a bad person if you have these ideas.
Yeah.
And I think it's good for people to see, know it. That's just not true. It's just the message of the day.
See, I think what I've learned about myself as a political show host is that I am guilty of that, sugarcoating things and not just coming out and saying.
I don't know who told you that, but they lied. They lied to you.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, you didn't have Rush Limbaugh. Everybody before your generation had Rush Limbaugh every day. And, he was the master, and he led the conservative movement to the mainstream. Yep. Before that, there was Ronald Reagan, and then you had your few conservative publications and things like that. But he brought it to the mainstream, and probably none of us would be sitting here doing what we're doing right now if it weren't for him.
Mm-hmm.
He saved AM radio is what he did.
Yep.
But since, you don't have him growing up, got to have somebody. And I think, like I said, I really like Matt Walsh.
Matt Walsh is great.
And I love Mark Levin as well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's brilliant.
If I can, I shout him out every chance I get, and I'll do it again here tonight. My dad, he was a Rush disciple, and, he never missed a Rush show. And we would have that's really where it started, I guess, because we would have those conversations over the dinner table. And then you get out into the real world, and you see that not everybody else sees things sometimes the opposite way.
Yeah.
And that's really what spurred me on.
Yeah, Rush said that people always told him that there was finally somebody in the mainstream saying what we've all been thinking.
Yep.
So, well, I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too, man. It's been a blast.
Okay. Mark Levin is coming up next. God loves you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Tell him bye.
Bye.
It's TJ Ritchie on News Talk 1110 and 99.3 WPT.